Hello everyone, welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. Today we are making this pretty square and it is our end of April YouTube bonus square. It's larger than our usual squares. It's about 9 inches. Our usual squares are about 6 inches. Now, because normally we suggest a 4.5mm hook, and when I did that it came up nearer to 12 inches. So if you want to do 12 inches and use your 4.5mm hook, then by all means go ahead and do that. But I've used my 4mm hook today, and I've changed colour 3 times. You can change as much as you like, or you can just stick to one colour, because it's this really nice lacy design. It kind of suits anything. It suits changing colour every row, it suits one colour, whatever you fancy. So if you're changing colour, then you'll need some scissors, so hook and scissors. And then just because there is quite a lot going on with this lacy effect, so just to help me and my often confusion, I just used some stitch markers, and I marked where the corners were going to be, and it just helped not have to sort of think, where am I going? So if you've got some stitch markers or paper clips, or ends of yarn clippings or whatever, you might find that helpful to use those. Otherwise, maybe get yourself a drink, a cup of tea, because as it's larger, it's going to take a little bit longer. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so these the center parts of these designs are really good for using up your small bits of yarn that you've got lying around. So for this square, unusually so, I am going to start with a magic ring. Now you know that I don't often use the magic ring, but I do want this one to have a nice closed in center, so I'm doing the magic ring. Okay, so we are going to need 8 double crochets with chain 2 in between. So we're going to start with a chain 3 as 1 double crochet, or you can do a standing double crochet if you prefer, and then do a chain 2, so you've actually got 5 chains, and then a double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet, and chain 2, and another double crochet. Work this all the way around until you have 8 stitches, which includes that chain 3 here. 8 stitches and 8 chain 2 spaces. And if you have used the magic ring, you will have something looking a bit crazy like this. So just pull your ring closed. If you've used the slip stitch, chain 4 and slip stitch method, you still need to, if you pull it, it just cinch your ring in nicely. So then just find your 3rd chain up or 3rd chain along and do a slip stitch in there to finish your round. Now in this pattern there are many opportunities for changing colour. You could change colour every single round if you like, and every couple of rounds, whatever you feel like. I'm just going to keep the same colour for now. So moving on to the next round. So now it's all double crochets, so a chain 3 for your first double crochet. Of course, if you know the standing double crochet, feel free to use that anytime that we do a chain 3. And then in your chain space, you're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And 1 double crochet in the top of your previous double crochet, and you're going to follow this all the way around. No change, just double crochet. So 1 in the top of your double crochet, and then 3 in the space. 2, 3, and 1 in the top other double crochet. Follow this all the way around, and then when you get back to here, join with a slip stitch in your top chain, and you should have 32 double crochets. Okay, so 32 double crochets later, and I have just fastened, I've joined with a slip stitch and fastened off, ready to change colour. And just because this is the magic ring, and it can come undone more easily, and I've got these two tails already, I'm just going to stop and weaving this tail to close this nice and tightly now before I continue. So if you want to do that, feel free. Otherwise, we'll get going on the next round in just a second. Okay, so if you are changing colour, you can join your colour wherever you like. I'm joining into the top of the double crochet that is from this spoke here. So we finished here where our chain 3 was, and that was on top of a spoke here. So try and join into one of those would be a little bit more helpful, just to know where you're at and where you're starting. So I'm starting here, but just as usual, I'm staggering my starts, and it does help that it means that all your chain starts aren't in a row. So sometimes on a pattern you can really pick out this part where it all starts, whereas if you stagger it around, then it means that it sort of allows you a bit more grace on that, I guess, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is a chain 3 for our first double crochet. Now this round is really simple and really repetitive, nice and easy to pick up. So we do 1 in the top here, and then we are going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 in each of the next 4 double crochets. This is so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then now this fourth one is in the top of again in the top of this one here. So you're going to do a chain 3 and another double crochet in that same stitch. That's basically a V stitch in there. Okay, so what you'll do now is you could basically count 5. So count this as 1, 1, 2, oops, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your fifth one is again in line with this one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 3 and 1 in this stitch, which counts in the same stitch, which counts now as your next number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 in here, chain 3, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all the way around, and as usual, slip stitch into the top of this chain here. So when you come around to your final stitches, you will have done 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you will need to do your fifth one in the same stitch as where you did your chain 3, just in case you have a moment of confusion like I just did. And then do a chain 3 and join in with into your top chain to finish this round off. And there you have it. So it's looking a bit hexagonal at the moment, hexagonal, octagonal, but we're going to be squaring off very soon. Okay, now this is the round where we are going to start doing the lattice effect when we come up in a triangle and make this lattice effect. So I'm going to do that all in the same colour, so I've changed. Now we finished on the left hand side of the V, on this side of the V, So I've started my new colour in exactly the same stitch but on the other side. So when you've got this V going on here, just join into this stitch here, okay? Or of course you can join in where you just fastened off, that's fine, if you prefer to do that. Okay, so we are going to be doing some double crochet 5 together where we make kind of like a pointy triangle. But for this one, we will be doing, it will be a 4 together because we want to do our first chain 3, okay? And then we will be doing the 4 together on this one. So this is where you go into the next stitch, do a yarn over and your first pull through as if you're going to do your first double crochet, and leave that loop, that last loop, on your hook. So you'll now have 2 loops on your hook. Okay, so this is a bit like when we do a cluster stitch as well, but we're going into individual stitches here. So into the next stitch and do your first yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, so you've now got 4 loops, and into the last 1, 2, 3, into the last next stitch, sorry, not the last stitch but the next one, and yarn over, pull through 2. So you've now got 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, and that's your double crochet 4 together, okay, with your initial chain for your first double crochet. And then you are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then in this chain space you are going to do a V stitch. So double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Okay, and then another chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then across these 5 stitches you are going to do a double crochet 5 together, so exactly as you did here, but you will have your first one as your first incomplete double crochet. So 1, remember you just do your first yarn over, pull through, leaving that last part on the hook. Okay, all 5 stitches, having an extra loop left each time. So this time you should have 6 loops on your hook, because you'll have 1 for each stitch plus your original. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. Get through that last one. There we go. Okay, so then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then in this chain space you're going to do a V stitch. So double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet. As simple and straightforward as that. So you're going to follow this all the way around. So we'll do a chain 3 now. So remember that before and after each double crochet 5 together, before and after each V stitch, you're doing a chain 3. So you'll do a chain 3 now, and then your 5 together, and then your V stitch, and all the way around to here, and we'll be joining into the top of this double crochet 5 together, not in the top of this chain but in the top of this stitch here. So I'll meet you back around here to finish off together. Okay, when you've finished your last V stitch and chain 3, then as I said before, don't go into the top of this chain as you usually would. Just go into the top here of this this double crochet 4 together. Forgetting all what I'm saying today. I've got a strand there. So into the top here and do your slip stitch. There we go. So that is the end of that round. You can see it's starting to get this lacy effect now, and these V stitches are the start of your lattice or lattice, trellis, whichever you choose to call it. So it's looking a bit yeah, sort of circular, a bit like it's almost got too many stitches, but it will come good. Okay, now this is where your stitch markers or a piece of wool or a paper clip may come in handy. You often hear me say about I'm easily confused. Okay, so what we're going to do, what I'm going to do is mark where the corners are going to be, okay? And basically the corners are every other V stitch. So our next V stitch, so we finished here. Our first V stitch will be our first corner. So I am going to put a marker in there. Okay, so this is our first corner. The next corner is you are going to skip your cluster, skip your V, go into the next V. So this V here. Okay, you can probably see this yourself already if you lay it out. So then again, skip the cluster, skip the V, skip the cluster, go into the next V. So basically you're going to go into one V as your corner, not the next one, go into the next one. Okay, every other V stitch is a corner. So skip this V and go into the next V. It should leave you just one V on this side. Okay, so you've got 4 V stitches in the corners and 4 V stitches in the middle on the sides. Okay, that just helps you to know where you're going and what you're doing. Okay, it helps me. And now we're going to slip stitch across this space. So do a slip stitch in next to your cluster, and then you're going to go into each chain and do a slips 1, 2, 1 in here, oops, 3, and 1 just to take us into that chain space. Okay, so we've now got our yarn coming out from this chain space. So you can take off that stitch marker because we're going to do our first corner. And for your corner, you are going to do a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. And then you're going to do 4 double crochets. So 1, I apologise, those stitch markers are going to clank now, but we'll cope with that. Hey, 1, 2, that's 3, 4, 5. So including your chain, you're gonna have your chain and then 4 double crochets. So that makes 5 altogether. Just scooch those round a little. Do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do 5 more double crochets. 1. Oops. Do 5 more double crochets there, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so each corner will be 5 double crochets, chain 3, 5 double crochets. That's how you'll do every corner now. And then you're going to do a chain 3. And then you're going to continue this lattice trellis going on. Each round it's just going to get wider and wider and wider. So we've got 1 V here. We're skipping over this cluster here, by the way. So you're going to do a V stitch starting in the first stitch of the last V. Okay, you need to remember this for each round. So the first one here is where we start, and we're going to basically do a V stitch in that V stitch. That's a double crochet, 2 chains, yes, just 2 chains now for our V stitches. So double crochet, chain 2, and then a double crochet in that same stitch, and then we go straight into this next double crochet here. So we've gone into this one and done a V. If I should lay this down, so we've gone into this one and done a V, and we're going to go straight over to this one and do the same. So a double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet. And then if I lay this down, you can see how that's building that up. So you've got one V here, and then you've got 2 V's here, and it will just gradually build up and extend out, going into a V as it goes up. Okay, so then we've now got to do the reverse, going out of our side. So we come into our middle, and then we go out of our middle in exactly the same way. So just in reverse. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it's our corner. So you're going to do a 5 double, where am I looking? Okay, so we're going into our corner, me getting confused. So remove your stitch marker, and you're going to do 5 double crochet, chain 3, 5 double crochet. And I'll meet you back when you've done that to show you that those V's again. So do your 5 double crochet, chain 3, 5 double crochet, and I'll see you after that. Okay, so when you've done your corner 5, 3 and 5, you're going to do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then across to this V stitch, do a V stitch into the first double crochet. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then straight across to the next double crochet and do a V. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then chain 3 and across to doing your next corner. So follow that all the way around. If you need to, just rewind the video a few minutes to follow around what we've already done, and just repeat that all the way around. And I will see you when you get back around here. Okay, so when you've finished off that round, just join into your top chain here and do a slip stitch. And there we go. You can see it started to square off nicely. You've got your corners, and then in the middle on the sides you've got your trellis starting to work up here. Looking really pretty, really liking this square, really liking this square. So and it looks so different with these colours than when I did this middle before. This is my previous middle, all in white. It looks so different, so different. Okay, so let's move on to our next round. Okay, so we're going to do some more double crochet 5 together, but for this one it's going to be 4, because we're going to do chain 3 for our first, and then go into your next stitch and do a partial double crochet. That's 1, into the next one 2, into the next one is 3, and into the next one is 4. So you should have 5 loops, yarn over and pull through. So you've now got this kind of triangle going on top of your double crochets here of your corner. And then you are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is your new corner going on. And then you're going to do 5 individual double crochets in this chain 3 space here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these 5 double crochets are now the center point of your corner. Okay, chain 3 and do another double crochet 5 together on top of these ones. So 1 partial stitch, 2, 3 skipped one somewhere. I've missed the first one. Shall we start that again? So your first one may be a little bit hidden by your double crochets here, so don't forget to pick that one up right here next to your double crochets that you've just done. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There we go. 6 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 6 loops, and then you're going to chain 3. And now we're back to our lattice. So lattice, trellis, I keep changing my mind on what it's called. Let me know down below in the comments what you call it, trellis or lattice. So we're going to do the next row of our pattern and you're going to do 3 V-stitches this time. So you're going to go into, just pull this out, so let me see if I can zoom in, there we go. So we've got 1 here, 2 here. On this next one you're going to go into this one here and do a V. You're going to do 1 there, so double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in here, so that'll be 1, and then you're going to go into this stitch and do your next one. Actually, no, you're not. Okay, so I apologize for that. You're going to go into here. No, you're not. I've just re-looked at what we're doing. Okay, so we do 1 in the end stitch, and then we do 1 in between these 2. When we have 2 here together, like an upside down V, we go in the middle, and then we do 1 here. Okay, so we're going to do those together, but I just wanted to show you that a bit more close up. So let's try and zoom out, shall we? There we go. Okay, so you've done your chain 3, so go into this first double crochet and do a double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet. That's your first V stitch. Okay, now because these 2 are together, you're going to go in between, in this space between, and do a double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet. And that's what you will do every time you have 2 meeting in a point. And then you're going to go into this last double crochet and do double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then chain 3 to take you to your corner. So let's just look at that again now that I've got that correctly. Okay, so you can see that you had 1 V, 2 V's, and now 1, 2, 3 V's there. So on the next row you will be going into this stitch here, and then you'll be going in between these 2 here. Let me just get something to point with. This one, in between, and this one. Okay, so for your next corner you're going to do your double crochet 5 together. So all 5 of these stitches you're going to do as one of these pointy stitches. Okay, so do that double crochet 5 together, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so when you've done your double crochet 5 together, do a chain 3 and then 5 double crochets in this chain space, and then a double crochet 5 together, and I'll see you once you've done those. So 5 double crochet, chain 3, double crochet 5 together. Okay, chain 3 to come out of your corner, and then I'm going to show you this V-stitch pattern once more. So into your first double crochet, do a double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet. In the space between these 2 points, do a V-stitch, so double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and into the last double crochet, go into the top of that stitch and a V-stitch, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. chain 3 and go into your corner, double crochet 5 together, chain 3, 5 double crochet, chain 3, 5 double crochet, 5 double crochet 5 together. Oh dear, I really need to put my teeth back in. And then you're going to come around and do your V stitches again, and corner and V stitches, and we're going to join around here. I'll meet you back around here. Okay, so when you've done your last chain 3 after your V stitches, just join into the top of your cluster, your double crochet 5 together, not into the top of your chain. And there is the end of that round. You can see these V stitches forming up nicely into our trellis lattice. Looking really pretty now. So next round, how are you doing? Do you need a slurp of tea? Okay, so we are here. I've just started to slip stitch. We need to bring ourselves in line with our first stitch here. So just slip stitch through these chains to bring you over to the top of this stitch. So your first double crochet right in your corner. Excuse me. And we're going to do a chain 3, and then just as we've done on these, we're going to do one of those double crochet 5 together to make this have a point on the top. Okay, so you know how you're doing that now. You're going to do your next 4 stitches and make them join together with a point. Okay, when you've got your point, do a chain of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this takes you across to do your V stitches, and this row you're going to have 4 V stitches. So we're going to do exactly as before. I'll show you this first side. So into your first double crochet, do your V stitch, and this twists round, there we go. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet for your first V stitch, and then across into the middle of this point and do a V stitch, across to the middle of the next point. So you're skipping over the chain space and we're going into the middle of that point. So we don't do any in the chain spaces, only in the joins or the stitches. So then over to the next double crochet and do your last one. And I'll just have a look at what we've got just to make sure. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see these chain spaces we don't go into ever. Okay, so 4 V stitches, and then we are going to get some more yarn. Chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then for your corner you're going to do exactly the same. Do your double crochet 5 together, chain 8, and do your 4 V stitches on this side, chain 8, do your corner double crochet 5 together all the way around, and I will see you back around where we started. Okay, when you made it all the way around, just do a slip stitch on the top of this first double crochet 5 together. There you go. How pretty is this looking? Pretty, lacy and lovely. So there we go. It's hardly fitting on the screen, it's so big. Okay, time for our next round. I think we've got 2 rounds left to go. Okay, now our corners on this round are going to have a double treble crochet in them. So in order to make the chain, starting chain equivalent, we need to do 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains for our double treble crochet, and then we need to do a chain of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then in the middle of this chain 8 here, you are going to do a single crochet. Now you can do it over the chain space, which is what we would usually do, or you can find your 4th chain from this side and go into your chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can either go into there and work through that chain, or you can work around the chain in that similar sort of space and just do a single crochet. It's up to you. Obviously the single crochet can sort of slide around, but once you've got your pattern forming, it won't move very much, but that's completely up to you. So into the 4th chain or over the chain, and then you're going to do a chain of 3, and you're going to come back to doing your V stitches. So this time obviously we're doing 5 V stitches, and you're going to do it in exactly the same way. So you're going to start on the side and then go in between, in between, in between, and on the side. Okay, so do all of those 5 V stitches, and then I'll meet you back to go on to the next corner. So once you've done your 5 V stitches, you want to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then again, just as we did over here, you can choose to do your single crochet either in the 4th chain from here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so either into here, this 4th chain, or over the top, do your single crochet. Whichever you choose to do, just make sure you do it on every single time that you do it the same way. Don't go over it here but then into the chain here, because it'll just make it look slightly different each side. Okay, and then we're going to do chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now this is where we come to our double treble. So 3 yarn overs, because that's a double, 2 is a treble, 3 is a double treble, and then you're going to go into the top of your double crochet 5 together. So just find that very top stitch. It might be hiding a little bit, but just find that top stitch, go into there. I've got a loose thread there. There we go. So go into there, and then so you're going to do lots of yarn over, pull through. So exactly the same as you would for any other stitch, that you yarn over, pull through 2, 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 and that is your double treble, really tall stitch. And that's why we had to do 5 chains over here. Okay, so then you're going to do another 8 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you're going to do your join into the 4th chain or a single crochet. So I'm going to do my single crochet over the top, chain 3, and then do your 5 V stitches, then do a chain 3, a single crochet, chain 8, double treble crochet, chain 8 into your a single crochet here, and then repeat that all the way around until you get back around to where you started, and I will join you to fasten off this round. So when you've done your last section of these stitches and then your chain 3 and single crochet, do your last chain of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you are going to count up and find your 5th chain here where you started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do a slip stitch into there to finish off that round. There we go. How pretty is this looking? I love it. It's really pretty. It's got this kind of lacy effect going on. Move my hands off of it. There you go. How pretty. So our final round is about to come. Now, so that this corner, when we at the end, isn't just a load of chains, because of this big long chain here, I'm going to do it very slightly different to the chart that I have here. So I'm going to do a chain 3 for a double crochet, and then you are going to do 9 double crochets in this chain space. Okay, 9 double crochets, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, so you've got 1 in the top of your treble, double treble crochet, and or your chain, and then 9, and then you're going to do a chain 3. Oops. So chain 3, and now you're going to move on to doing your V stitches. So this time you're going to do 6 V stitches across here, 6 V stitches, and then a chain 3, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, when you've done your 6 V stitches, do a chain 3, and then in this chain 8 space you are going to do 9 double crochets, and then your 10th double crochet you're going to do in the top of this double treble. So 9, and then 1 in there, so that's your 10th, and I'll see you back after you've done those 10. Okay, when you've done your 9 in your chain space and your 10th in the top of the double treble, you're going to form the corner by doing a chain of 3, and then you're going to do your, so then coming back down this chain 8, you're going to do your first stitch in the top of the double treble, and then you're going to do 9 double crochets down here, and when you've done those 9, you're going to do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do your 6 V stitches along here, and then you'll chain 3, do your 9 double crochets in your chain, so 9 double crochets over there, and your 10th in the top here, chain 3, do another one, and then 9 coming back down, and repeat that all the way around, and I will see you back around this side just to finish off this corner. Okay, so when you are on your final side and you've done your last 9 double crochet, do your 10th double crochet in the top where you did your initial chain 3. Let's move these up to this corner a bit. That one was looking a bit sad on its own there. So just join into the top here, do your double crochet, do a chain 3, and slip stitch into the top of your chain, and that is the end of the official pattern. I will tell you, the official pattern actually has you chaining, I think, 6 here, and it makes, if I just pull this down, it makes this kind of loopy effect. You have this sort of chain going a bit loopy in the corner, but I've just made it a bit more square for you, for joining in with your other squares. So this is the end of this square. Now, if you don't like it being quite so floppy, you could go around and do a final round of, say, single crochets or half crochets, and in your corners you could just do 3 single crochets, in that corner, or you could do single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, however you choose. So I'm going to move the camera so you can see the whole of this square. There we go, we've just about fitted it onto the screen. I haven't fastened mine off yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to do a single crochet round just to finish it off or not. I can't quite decide, so let's turn it around to different angles. So there you go. I can't remember if this actually has a name. I was only given a chart, so I might have a look and see if I can find a name, because as I've done before, I'm now going to go off and record the start of this video. So anyway, I might have a name by the time I get there. Otherwise, just enjoy your pretty lacy lattice trellis square. I hope you post your photos in the group. If you haven't already joined the group, the details are all in that description box below. And if you found this useful and helpful and enjoyed crocheting along with me, then please click that like button and give us a thumbs up. And until next time, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cold.